The stagnation of the Milky Way's pathetic alien minds would be humanity's only hope as a galaxy-changing breakthrough emerged from a fucking garage. Aaron Wells tightened the final bolt on his scuffed metal quantum computing module. His calloused fingers gripped the power switch, not knowing his invention's quantum vibrations would catch the attention of a menacing alien juggernaut that ruled the stars. As Aaron flipped the switch high above Earth, a slick black alien ship of the Mazarian Empire lurked in orbit, cloaked behind a veil of advanced stealth technology. High-ranking Commander Vox pored over sensor readings with narrowed reptilian eyes. Unprecedented quantum signatures pulsed from the human's primitive backwater planet. Vox growled orders to monitor the Earthling's dangerous discovery. But a sudden solar flare blasted the ship, shorting out its cloak in a shower of sparks. All hell broke loose on Earth as the exposed alien craft filled the skies on every newsfeed. Panicked citizens flooded the streets. World leaders convened emergency meetings. Aaron stared slack-jawed at the ship on his phone screen. His fingers clenched. This was humanity's chance to show its stuff. With a grin, Aaron cracked his knuckles and started typing. His quantum module whirred as it sliced through the Mazarian ship's defenses like a hot knife through butter. Aboard the vessel, alarms blared. Vox slammed a clawed fist on the control panel. How could a fucking APE bypass their security? This was a declaration of war. Vox dispatched an assault team to retrieve the human and his tech by any means necessary. Boots pounded into Aaron's driveway. Pulse rifles shattered his windows. Mazarian shock troopers stormed the garage in a barrage of laser fire. Aaron ducked behind his workbench, grabbing the quantum module. He punched in a code, and the aliens' weapons exploded in their hands in a burst of sparks. Aaron dashed past them, making a break for it with the device. His life's work stolen, Aaron gritted his teeth. This primitive primate would show these ET bastards what a single human could do. He'd need to outsmart the tech and resources of an entire fucking star empire. And he'd need to do it fast, before they decided to glass the whole fucking planet. The fate of the Earth itself hung in the balance. Aaron's phone lit up with calls from the president, the UN, the media, but he chucked the phone out the window and gunned his motorcycle engine. This fight needed to be won in secret, using only his genius wits and the scavenged resources he could gather. As he raced down empty midnight streets, Aaron cracked a defiant grin. Vox and his Mazarian goons were about to learn a painful lesson. On Earth or in the stars, never bet against human ingenuity. Humanity was the wild card of the cosmos, the unpredictable rising stars. And now, a lone scientist would gamble the future of human civilization itself in a deadly chess match of wits and tech against an alien empire. Aaron revved his motorcycle engine to a rebellious roar and sped off into the night, mind racing to hatch a plan. It was time to show the galaxy why humans are the apex fucking species. Aaron's fingers flew across the keyboard, his eyes locked on the screen as lines of code scrolled past. Sweat beaded on his forehead, but he ignored it, his focus solely on the task at hand, hacking into the government databases that held the key to understanding Mazarian technology. Come on, he muttered under his breath, his heart pounding in his chest as he worked to bypass the security measures. With a final keystroke, he was in, a grin spreading across his face as he began to download the classified files. Aboard the Mazarian ship, Commander Vox stood before a holographic display. His reptilian eyes narrowed as he studied the stolen quantum computing data. The more he delved into the research, the more he realized the incredible potential it held, and the threat it posed to the Mazarian Empire's technological dominance. This human's discovery could change everything, Vox growled, his clawed hands clenching into fists. We must not allow this technology to fall back into their hands. Back on Earth, Aaron stood outside a nondescript warehouse, his motorcycle parked nearby. He took a deep breath, then pushed open the door, stepping inside to face the man he hadn't seen in years, his brother, Michael. Michael turned to face him, his expression guarded. Aaron, it's been a while. I know, Aaron said, his voice tight. But I need your help. The fate of the world depends on it. As Aaron explained the situation, Michael's eyes widened, his posture shifting from wary to alert. "All right," he said finally, his eyes hardened. "I'm in, but we're going to need a team." Together, the brothers began to assemble their crew. First was Zach, a brilliant hacker with a knack for infiltrating even the most secure systems. Then came Ethan, a master of disguise who could blend in anywhere. Finally, there was Justin, an engineer with a talent for creating cutting-edge tech. In a makeshift lab, the team worked tirelessly to prepare for their mission. Aaron pored over the stolen Mazarian data, using his quantum computing knowledge to create advanced disguises that could fool even the most sophisticated biometric scanners. Justin, meanwhile, tinkered with EMP devices designed to disable the alien ship's security systems. As they worked, Aaron couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Little did he know that high above, Commander Vox was growing increasingly suspicious of the humans' plans. "Double the security on the ship," Vox ordered his subordinates, his eyes glinting with malice. "And deploy our top operatives to guard the stolen research. We cannot allow the humans to reclaim it." Aaron and his team worked late into the night, fueled by a sense of urgency and drive. They knew that the odds were stacked against them, but they also knew that they couldn't afford to fail. Finally, as dawn began to break over the horizon, they stood together, their disguises in place and their equipment at the ready. Aaron looked around at his team, his expression grim. "This is it," he said, his voice low. "Everything we've worked for comes down to this moment. We're going to infiltrate that ship, retrieve my research, and show those Mazarian bastards what humanity is capable of." Michael, Zach, Ethan, and Justin nodded, their faces set with dedication. They knew the risks, but they also knew that they were the only ones who could pull this off. As they stepped out into the early morning light, ready to embark on their daring mission, Aaron felt a sense of calm wash over him. No matter what happened next, he knew that he had assembled the best team possible, a group of humans who would stop at nothing to protect their planet and their people. The stage was set for a thrilling showdown between the ingenuity of the human race and the advanced technology of the Mazarian Empire, and Aaron and his team were ready to give it their all, regardless of the cost. Aaron's fingers danced across the quantum disguise module's controls. The device hummed, projecting a field that warped light around them. He nodded to his team. "Let's move." They approached the Mazarian ship's airlock. Aaron held his breath as the alien scanners swept over them. A tense moment passed. The airlock hissed open. They were in. Inside, the corridor stretched before them, bathed in an eerie blue glow. Aaron turned to the others. "You know the plan. Good luck." With a final nod, they split up. Aaron and Michael crept toward the research lab, footsteps silent on the metallic floor. Suddenly, voices echoed from around a corner. Mazarian guards. Aaron's hand flew to his belt, grabbing the quantum scrambler. As the guards rounded the corner, he activated it. Their weapons sparked and fizzled. The guards stared in confusion at their useless guns. Aaron and Michael slipped past, hearts pounding. Meanwhile, in engineering, Zach's fingers flew across a hollow interface. "I'm in," he whispered. "Ethan, Justin, plant those EMPs." The two men worked quickly, attaching devices to key power junctions. Zach's voice crackled over their comms. "On my mark! Now!" A pulse of energy surged through the ship. Lights flickered and died. Alarms fell silent. In the darkness of the research lab, Aaron and Michael found themselves face to face with Commander Vox. The Mazarian's eyes glowed with an inhuman light. "You don't understand what you're dealing with," Aaron said, voice steady despite his racing pulse. "This tech, it's not ready. It could destabilize reality itself." Vox snarled, "Your primitive mind can't grasp its potential. The Mazarian Empire will—" He was cut off as Michael launched himself at the alien guards. Fists and energy weapons clashed in the dim emergency lighting. Aaron dove for a nearby console. His fingers flew across the alien interface, muscle memory from countless hours of preparation taking over. He found what he was looking for, his quantum data. With a few precise commands, he triggered the failsafe. On screens around the lab, complex equations and diagrams dissolved into gibberish. Vox roared in fury. Stop them! But it was too late. Aaron's team regrouped, fighting their way through the ship's corridors. Quantum tech and human ingenuity clashed with alien weaponry. They reached the hangar bay, commandeering a sleek Mazarian shuttle. As they blasted away from the massive alien ship, adrenaline still coursing through their veins, Aaron allowed himself a small smile. They'd done it. For now, at least, humanity's future was secure. Back on Earth in a nondescript safe house, the team gathered around a battered kitchen table. Bottles clinked as they toasted their victory. But the celebration was tinged with tension. They all knew this was just the beginning. Aaron stared out the window at the night sky, wondering what the Mazarians' next move would be. Whatever came, he knew humanity would be ready. They had to be. The dust had barely settled from their daring escape when Aaron's phone lit up with notifications. News feeds exploded with footage of their infiltration, shaky cell phone videos capturing glimpses of the alien ship. Within hours, Aaron and his team found themselves thrust into a whirlwind of press conferences and government debriefings. Mr. Wells, how did you manage to outsmart an advanced alien civilization? A reporter shouted over the clamor of voices. Aaron stepped up to the microphone, his expression grim. We got lucky this time, but make no mistake, the Mazarians will be back, and they'll be pissed. He was right. Aboard the Mazarian mothership, Commander Vox paced before the High Council, his scales filled with rage. These primitive apes have made fools of us, Vox snarled, smacking his head on the holographic display. We must crush them utterly, harvest their world for every resource. The council members chittered among themselves, weighing the commander's words. Finally, the eldest spoke. Your plan is approved, Commander. Assemble the Armada. Back on Earth, Aaron found himself whisked away to a secure bunker deep beneath the Pentagon. World leaders from every nation crowded around a circular table, their faces etched with concern. Mr. Wells, the U.S. President began, we need options. How do we defend against an alien invasion? Aaron ran a hand through his disheveled hair. With all due respect, Mr. President, my team of 5 isn't going to cut it against an entire alien empire. He turned to address the room. We need the best minds humanity has to offer. Scientists, engineers, tacticians, anyone who can help us innovate and adapt. Within days, a global think tank was assembled. Brilliant minds from every corner of the Earth converged on a hastily constructed facility. The air hummed with the energy of dozens of quantum computers, screens flickering with simulations and schematics. Meanwhile, Michael Wells stood before a group of hardened soldiers, their faces set in fierce dedication. You are the best of the best, Michael barked, pacing before the assembled troops. But where we're going, that might not be enough. We're going to push you beyond your limits, outfit you with tech you've never dreamed of. The soldiers drilled relentlessly, mastering prototype weapons that crackled with quantum energy. Michael watched with pride as they honed themselves into a formidable fighting force. As the days ticked by, tension gripped the globe. Governments stockpiled supplies, civilians huddled around news broadcasts. In their secret facility, Aaron and his team worked feverishly, fueled by caffeine and desperation. We can't just wait for them to come to us, Aaron muttered, staring at the latest sensor data. We need to take the fight to them. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to him. Aaron's fingers flew across the holographic interface, outlining a daring plan. If we can disrupt their fleet before they reach Earth, we might stand a chance. Hours later, Aaron and Michael stood side by side on the bridge of Earth's most advanced spacecraft. Behind them, rows of monitors flickered with activity as their hand-picked crew made final preparations. You ready for this? Michael asked, his voice low. Aaron nodded, his eyes sharp. Born ready. Let's show these alien bastards what humans are made of. With a thunderous roar, the ship's quantum drives ignited. As they blasted off into the inky blackness of space, Aaron gripped the console. The fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and failure wasn't an option. Aaron's fingers flew across the quantum interface, initiating the cyber attack. The ship's interior hummed with energy as the sophisticated program launched, targeting the Mazarian Armada's communication and navigation systems. "It's working," Zack called out, his eyes fixed on a holographic display. "Their ships are going haywire." On the main view screen, the Mazarian fleet writhed in disarray. Ships veered off course, colliding with each other as their navigation systems failed. Bursts of static crackled through the comms, Mazarian voices rising in panic and confusion. Aaron allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction, but his victory was short-lived. "Wait," Michael said, leaning in to study the display. "Something's not right." Before their eyes, the chaos began to subside. Mazarian ships realigned, their movements becoming coordinated once more. A chill ran down Aaron's spine as he realized the implications. "They were ready for us," he said, his voice tight. Vox must have anticipated this move. The bridge erupted into frantic activity as the team reassessed their strategy. Aaron's mind raced, searching for a new angle of attack. "We can't back down now," he declared. "Michael, get your task force ready. We're going in hot." What followed was a series of lightning-fast strikes against the Mazarian fleet. Human ships darted between the massive alien vessels, their weapons supercharged by Aaron's quantum tech. Mazarian shields flickered and failed under the assault, leaving their ships vulnerable. But the aliens quickly rallied. The space around Earth lit up with energy weapons fire as the Mazarians unleashed their full might. On a tactical display, Aaron watched in horror as Earth's defensive positions were overwhelmed. Red dots representing human forces winked out one by one. "We're getting slaughtered out there," Michael growled, his fists clenched at his sides. Aaron stared at the battlefield, his heart pounding. They needed a game changer, and fast. His eyes locked onto the massive form of the Mazarian flagship. "I've got a plan," he said, his voice steady despite the fear churning in his gut. "But it's risky as hell." Minutes later, Aaron stood with a small strike team in the ship's quantum teleportation chamber. Michael checked his weapon, nodding grimly to his brother. "You sure about this?" he asked. Aaron took a deep breath. "No, but it's our only shot." Energy crackled around them as the teleporter activated. The world dissolved into a swirl of light and sensation. When it reformed, they found themselves in the alien environment of the Mazarian flagship. Alarms blared as the team sprinted through twisting corridors. Alien security forces converged on their position, energy weapons filling the air with sizzling bolts. Aaron ducked and weaved, his heart pounding in his ears. They fought their way to the ship's command center, leaving a trail of disabled Mazarians in their wake. As the doors hissed open, Aaron came face to face with Commander Vox. The alien's reptilian features twisted into a sneer. "I've been expecting you, human." Aaron raised his quantum disruptor, but nothing happened. The device sputtered uselessly in his hand. Vox laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "Your pathetic technology is no match for Mazarian ingenuity. We've studied your work extensively, adapting it to our own purposes." Aaron's mind raced, searching for a solution. But before he could act, alarms blared throughout the ship. Vox's smug expression faltered as he turned to a nearby console. "What's happening?" the alien commander demanded. Aaron's eyes widened as he realized what was occurring. Zack had come through, uploading a virus that was tearing through the flagship systems. The ship lurched violently, sending both humans and Mazarians sprawling. Aaron scrambled to his feet, shouting to his team, "We need to get out of here now!" They fled through the chaotic corridors of the dying ship, barely making it to their extraction point. As they rematerialized aboard their own vessel, Aaron's relief was short-lived. Through the view screen, he watched in horror as the massive Mazarian flagship, now completely out of control, plummeted towards Earth. Its hull glowed red-hot as it entered the atmosphere, streaking across the sky like a meteor. The impact was devastating. Even from orbit, they could see the massive shockwave rippling across the surface of the planet. Aaron's stomach churned as he thought of the countless lives lost in that moment. As the dust settled and the surviving Mazarian ships retreated, Aaron slumped in his chair. The taste of victory turned to ash in his mouth as he contemplated the cost of their success. Michael placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. "We did what we had to do," he said softly. But Aaron knew the weight of this day would stay with him forever. As Earth's battered forces regrouped, he gazed out at the stars, wondering what new challenges the future would bring.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.